Hello everyone, welcome back to the React JS tutorial and congratulations for making it this far. And don't forget, just as a friendly reminder, don't forget to subscribe and to hit the like button. On this one, we're going to proceed with the second part of the CSS in which we're going to be having an inline CSS on our component. So as a reminder from the previous one, we were able to use the app.css, which we have it over here. And we're going to utilize that one using the class name. And remember, we're not going to use class, but rather we have to use it like class name. And whatever the class name that we have created on our file is going to be implemented over here. Now, the other thing is, this is okay, but we want to have also another opportunity or another possibility to see how we can implement the CSS, which is coming from the internal part. And usually that's going to be just performed using a class. So the class variable or the style variable, sorry, that's going to be just using the style. So for this, I'm going to have, for example, let's make it just over here. Let me have like the internal variable let styles equals, and it is going to be a simple object, just like this one. You can give the variable name as you like, but basically the idea is you're going to have like a key value pair of the styles. And we're going to start from the simpler one. And I'm going to say, let's say red. So right now we are having like the blue over here. Let me take that out. And actually we can use it over here as well. And style, and I'm going to say style, and I'm going to allow it to have like styles. So what would happen on this one is the implementation is going to be just applied on that specific element that we have assigned the style. And luckily the style, which is basically like the attribute on any element, would remain the same on this one. The only thing which is going to be just different on this is you might use like the squiggly bracket, just like the way we have seen so far, whenever you are referring either a function or a variable or anything of that kind that you're going to be utilizing as a placeholder over here. So in this case, we have the styles, which is going to be styles, and then we have like the key value pair, and every other property that you know on the CSS is going to be just applicable, except a little bit of a change. So let's see the other one. So let's say I want to change the font size and I want to make it, let's say 30 pixel. Actually, we have a 30 pixel already. So let's make it like 50 pixel. Now you would see, not this one, you would see that there is already a problem over here because we are having a hyphen and then this is an object and we're not going to have like a hyphen as a name of the object. So anytime that you're going to use a property, which is a property of like the CSS, and then you want to use it as a part of like the object, then you're going to use a camel case over here. So in this particular case, what we are saying basically is use font size and apply it as 50 pixel. So as you can see, this one is like a little bit bigger. And probably just to make it different, we can take like the text decoration and all right. And we can take that out, which is the text decoration is no more there. So basically, whatever the property name that we know or the property of the CSS that we know are going to be just implemented over here. The only thing is we have to remember that we cannot use a hyphen or a dash as we used to on the case of like the normal CSS. For example, in this case, when we are using like the app, like the app class over here, we were using like the dash on this one. But if you want to use the text align, then it would be just text and align is going to be just the uppercase A. So technically, like if you're familiar with what the camel case is, we're going to be just implementing that one. Otherwise, it is going to be just pretty much the same as that of the inline. But again, whenever possible, it might be applicable just to use, it might be okay to use this one because the style is going to be a little bit on its own file and it would be just easier to manage. But as we go further, this is going to be just very helpful, especially when we want to apply the style based on like some kind of conditions. Let's say, just to make it like, again, a very simple one, later we're going to see with the event handlers, when we are clicking on something, probably we want to change like a color. This is like more common, like whenever you are paying online, then if it is successful, then it's going to give you like a green kind of success. Or if there is a problem, then it's going to give you like a red, or just you can change them like programmatically. So with that, we're going to see like when we see the handling of like the event, which is going to be on the upcoming videos shortly. But for now, let's assume that I am having const the color. Let's give it like a green. All right, then basically, as you know, like I can implement the color over here, which would technically change the color into a green. Now, the idea that I wanted to show you over here is this can be programmatically assigned on this one, either a part of like the state or as a part of like the prop to be passed, or depending on like some kind of like the value or some kind of like the computation that you're having, you might want to assign like this specific color to this one, like the same thing for the font side, the same thing for the text decoration or anything of that kind. You would be able to have like a much easier a much easier like manipulation of like the font or the CSS into the part of like the object. And basically all you need to do is just to assign that one on this one, and then you're going to be just easy just to proceed from there. All right, so with this, then we can see that the inline part of assigning styles to the component can be performed in such a way. So this is what I have for the CSS part and how you're going to be just applying it. As we are proceeding on the upcoming videos, we're going to see the more application of the styles. But in general, we have like the two of the ways. One is using the file, and the other one is using like the inline in such a way, using like the style attribute on that one.